Hello everyone, I'm Codex, and it is now time to compare and contrast the old and new Heroscape sets. So first things first, we've got the boxes. We have this absolute behemoth here, and I don't have my original set box, but I do have this one, and I'm pretty sure I recall they are the same size. But these two most definitely are not. I think a big part of that is the clamshell packaging that they put inside, or the vacuform packaging rather, taking up a lot more room, but it means it's a lot more organized. So moving on, let's look at the instruction booklets. So we've got the new and old of that. There is definitely an improvement in paper quality. We've got the nice glossy paper here, whereas the original had the very thin, pretty standard paper. They merged the game guides together into one. Makes sense. And I was looking, I mentioned it in the first video, but there is not character background in the scenario book. I wasn't just forgetting, they just don't have it. So that is a very nice improvement that they've made for the new game, as well as just quality in general. The tiles themselves, I stacked stuff up into this so I could remember which was which. So we've got, these are the new tiles. I had mentioned something about the thickness. Oh, let's get them into frame. But really, I think they're the same. They do interlock with each other nicely. And really, I think they might have even used the same molds. If not, then they at least got very close. I had also mentioned the water. The water looks, oh, the water is even deeper blue. This is the original and this is the new. It doesn't show up the greatest in camera, but it does a bit. They've got a much richer, deeper blue. And compared to the flat blue I was mentioning that they did midway through the runs of the original, that's kind of crap. I do love the water improvement. And it gives us more variation and contrast for our builds. We've got the glyphs. They look very similar. A bit deeper printing in the back. And a bit of a, what's it called? Stroke around the edge of the wording, so it's a bit easier to read. Then we've got dice that look pretty much the same. This is the old, this is the new. So some of the printing is a little off center, but that's not a big deal. And just for the sake of completeness, there's the original dice. They had separate skull and shield dice, but then midway through run, they put them onto one. It does make more sense. The damage counters are pretty indistinguishable. And one of the bigger changes is the initiative tokens. The original was this slate gray, blue kind of look. And now they went with a very rich purple, keeping in branding with all of their purple for the new sets. But otherwise they are pretty identical. Alright, now the figures. We're going to start off simple with the character that is back in fairly unchanged, Sergeant Drake Alexander. And he really exemplifies how much the sculpting has improved. Here are the two figures in comparison. As I commented when I unboxed the new miniature, the pose is so much better. He looks like such a goof in the original. What's with that pose? He's still got his katana. He doesn't have that oversized grappling hook anymore. It has been reduced to a small wrist mounted. And he got that jump pack. And let's see if the camera will pick it up. Yes. The sculpting detail in the face is so much better. I do need to give an actual painting detail to the new one. It is kind of lacking in that front, but can't really blame them there. Stats wise, let's make sure that there wasn't too much power creep. But as far as the basic game goes, his stats are identical. This does show also pretty well the changes they've made in the cards. They've made the art more centrally focused, cleaned it up quite a bit. It is a lot easier to read on the new ones in a lot of ways, and most of these were unnecessary. Yes, we know that movement is going to be spaces. Then as far as master stats go, they changed his size a little bit, probably just because he has that jump pack. His stats are the same. He has a few more points. Oh, he does have one more hit point. Oh, that's what the number is, right, not the size. He's still medium. And he has slightly different effects, but really, he looks about the same. He's gotten a little more powerful, but his points have increased to match. So it doesn't look like we have any power creep, which is good since it would be nice to be able to use our old miniatures. Raelin's the other returning character. She's obviously seen quite the change though, in many ways. Her face kind of shows the limitations of 20 years ago and how much better it's gotten. Although it isn't a lot better in the new one, but it is better. Faces are still hard to sculpt. She has seen an improvement in stats. Turning evil will do that to you. And having a big monster that you're riding. Her defensive aura has become a terrifying aura. And she has gotten stronger as well. And the other thing I wanted to compare is, I had mentioned how big this guy is. And yes, this is Mimring from the original set. Big dragon. And compared to the new big dragon, he looks kind of puny. I'm not sure if there were any other really big characters besides I know there are, but don't know what other big characters and how big they were. But I don't have them. So this is the comparison we get here. And I believe, I did have someone else riding a beast from the original set. An orc riding a dinosaur, more or less. Just to compare to Raelin. Thing riding a thing. Oh yes. The other big thing in this new set, they gave us the walls. I do really like the new walls. The original set just came with these ruins. Mine are very miscolored. They need a repaint. At least this one does. And they just kind of sat down into the grooves there. They are really nice. Then there was the fortress set, which had these walls that are really hard to... Yeah, you see I shook the whole camera trying to disassemble them. But they took up the whole space, and made a big fortress there. Really nice, but these new walls, wow. We've got, they're more than just this, but the three basic parts. We've got our base, and then this just sets in there. And we've got really nice modular walls. I really like them, and I look forward to seeing what I can do with them in my builds. I believe, though, that is everything that I wanted to compare. So I will probably paint 1 or 2 miniatures to get ready for tournaments, and then I will take a break from Heroscape content for Pokemon, Deep Rock Galactic, something or other, but there will be no lack of Heroscape moving forward. So be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell so that you see when I post those videos, and until I do, have a good day. Now I've got a big mess to clean up